Alright. The last thing I need to do on this wing is to run the wire through. I just use a little piece of wire, put some tape on the end of it. Really, any way you want to do it, as long as it gets the job done, it's good to go. So I'm just going to pull it through. And I'm going to try to keep it nice and straight, somewhat organized. Just because I like to have things look nicely. Yeah. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a couple of drops of glue in here. Just to give it a drop of glue there, on there. See? There's 1, 2. Okay. Now, this wing is ready to be covered. I mean, well, almost ready to be covered. There is one little detail that needs to be done, but and we can do it right now. I got a servos here that I'm going to use. I have two 245S servos. The X08s are replacement for these ones. They work well. Really doesn't matter. These are the H servos that are the wing servos. They have the wing nuts in the right direction that we use for this. Right. If you take the screwdriver and find the hole where it's gonna go, then you can very accurately find the spot where you need to cut. Alright? And I'm just going to use a Dremel tool and try to cut a nice round shape. Once after you cut it, you can put the screwdriver back in there and check it out, and you see I still have to cut a little bit more out of it. Really don't worry about it if you cut too much out of it, because this surface over here serves only one purpose. It's it has to support the film covering, so after we cut it out, if we need to replace the servo, we can put another piece in here and have something to put it on. That's all it does. So it's really not really structural. And if the screwdriver is almost straight up, you're done. That's it. Here, I'm just going to take some sandpaper and touch it off. What I have right now, it's a nice round edge. So what I'm going to touch these corners off and round them off. So that way the servo is going to drop in a little bit better. And really, you have to be very, very gentle with it. There you go. All right. Now this wing is ready to be covered. wing is already covered on one side. Really the same thing applies that as I did before on the other video. I just stretch out the Doculam on top of it and touch the edges and seal it in place. And after that, what I did, I flip it to the side over here and I put some thin CA through this hole which locked the edge in place. Okay, I also took some thin CA and I put it inside here on this edge, and you can see it's a little bit darker. That's the CA that kind of ties in the edge of the Doculam over here on this end, and you can probably use it on this end too, on the wingtip if you want to harden that area a little bit. Other than that, it doesn't need it. Well, the reason for which I put the CA over there, because these are the key places where I really don't want to Doculam to ever come loose. Alright, let's see if we can do a wing quickly. It's identical to what we did before on the stabilizers. Absolutely no change whatsoever. Same techniques, same thing applies. This is just to give you an idea. Nice and stretched. A little bit of that, it's okay. You can always put your hand over it as you do it and just gently stretch it. See? Like that. Okay. What I like to do, I'm using my fingers here. I'm putting my fingers on the leading edge and knife, something like this, right? So I'm using this as a stop, and as you cut the knife and you drag it through, you keep a very consistent edge. Okay, so let's the trailing edge, and this guy's gonna fold just like that, straight up. But I'm gonna use actually two techniques. I'm gonna do this here because it's easy and it's nice and gentle curve. So wherever you have a nice and gentle curve like this, you can do it just like this, just fold it over. But now, right here on the tip, I just reach the tip of the, and I have a very strong turn. This is where I'm gonna go over, just like that, back and forth. I'm gonna use the other technique. So I want to work progressively on it. And this is a launch blade. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna some seed through the hole here. All right, I lock this in place. Now I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Just put a little bit on the edge. I'll take a Q-tip. Alright, so this is the bottom side. Now I'm going to work on the top side. And for that, I'm going to go back to my original fixture. And by the way, I made a mistake right now. And I bet you don't guess what mistake I did. Anyways. As you can see, the Doculam looks beautiful, right? From end to end. However, there's one little detail missing here. I forgot to put the servo in there. So, okay, it's good that I remember that now, because you know, I just want to have one piece of Doculam. I don't want to have a patch in there. So I need to prep the servo and install it inside. Make it so you can. So our zero position is going to be here somewhere, right? And when you go to pull the flaps down, we have a lot of travel. And when you go up, we just have a little bit of travel, whatever is left over. That's why I set the neutral position with a backwards bias to it. But if you do a top drive or some other, you know, if you want to do something else, you're welcome to do it whichever you want to do it. But think about how much travel you need and where you need your neutral position. Alright? So I put my screw in, and now this servo is ready to be installed. And if it ever goes bad, all you do is just cut this window out, take the screws out, remove the servo, put the new one in there, plug it back in here, done deal, put another patch on top of it. I think I may have some epoxy on those leads. I want to make sure I plug it correctly. There you go. And the wire, you can do, you know, anything, just put it in there somewhere. I put the wire underneath the plug so it kind of stays down there. So we have the servo in, now we're ready to cover the top. Again, I'll put it back in. So let me show you, just to get an idea. All right. And again, the same rules apply. I'm gonna seal the edge. I'm gonna cut this oversize a little bit. I'm gonna cut this end, fold it over, and now I have lamination over the trailing edge. And as far as I'm concerned, this wing is gonna be done. After that, we're gonna put a bevel in here, and the two wings are gonna be ready to be joined. So it's really not that complicated. It takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of care, and